Holy crap, it's cold. Obviously, I haven't been doing a lot of digging. But I can still make a video. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. Hi there. Friends, neighbors, treasure seekers across the land and around the world. Welcome to my rant. Alrighty, rant number 1. The Schrader valve. Cracks me up. Every time somebody digs one up, first thing out of their mouth every time is, look, Model T valve stem. Nope. They weren't even invented for Model Ts. I know a little bit about Model Ts because they go right there. I'm going to post it up there. Clean this size so I can fit it in there. That 16-year-old handsome man behind the wheel of that vehicle. Yeah, first car I ever built. 1922 Model T dirt track racer. So I have a little insight. Actually, the valve stem, the Schrader valve, was invented for what? One thing that was real popular starting in the 1880s. And it's still popular today. Bicycle racing. That's where the invention actually lies. Mr. Schrader, an immigrant to the United States, moved here, opened a little machine shop. He was making little brass fittings and stuff. And as bicycle racing became more and more popular, the European was winning all these races had one thing, the pneumatic tire. A little valve and he could fill it up with air. Well, this idea caught on and it was all about bicycles. Up until this point, everything was either running on iron wheels or hard rubber. That's it. Mr. Schrader started getting interested in this bicycle racing thing, and he noticed that these bicycle racers, they'd be all wound up for the race. And they would take their hose, they would hook it to the tire, they'd open a little pit cock on their valve, fill it with air, tighten the pit cock, they'd take the hose back off, and they were off. The only problem is, they were a little excited, and they didn't quite tighten it up, so about halfway through the race, they had flat tires. There, he had the idea, I gotta come up with a better valve. There you go. He got the idea in 1890. 1891, he actually had it perfected, but he didn't get the patent until like 1893. And Henry Ford was not even close to inventing the first Model T. That didn't come around until like 17 years later. His first vehicle, in fact, was running on hard rubber tires, the quadricycle. But after that, by the time the Model T came out, every vehicle manufacturer, every motorcycle manufacturer, Harley Davidson, everybody was using the Schrader valve. So, not a Model T valve stem. It was being used all over. It was being used in diving equipment. Remember the old guys with the big copper helmet and little windows and things? Yeah, they used them in that. They're used in diving equipment today. They're used anywhere where there's compressed gas. It's just the way it is. And that's why I freak out every time I hear somebody say Model T valve stem. Alright, second, and maybe it doesn't even really qualify as a rant. This puppy right here. the winged Liberty Head died. Yeah. The reason I say it probably doesn't even qualify as a rant is, well, I'm just as guilty of this one as anybody. Everybody calls it a Mercury dive, but it has nothing to do with Mercury. Mercury, the messenger for the Greek gods, didn't have wings on his head. He had them on his heels. Right there. He made him fast. That's how he got the gig. Anyways, yeah, later when the Romans started adopting the Greek gods, I guess he didn't look Roman enough, so they gave him a helmet, and they put some little wings on the helmet. And there you go. So, there you go. Hey, yeah, let's just, quick example right here. Then you see the wings on the helmet confuse people. And then pretty soon, I mean, just shortly after it came out, people started calling him Mercury Dime. The engraver, the guy who did it all, he was interviewed in his later years, and they asked him about it, and he hated the name Mercury. He jumped all over the guy interviewing him. But, yeah, when he was asked why he hated it, he says, well, because Lady Liberty. So they naturally asked him, well, why'd you put wings on her head? And he said, well, they're not on her head. They're on the cap she's wearing, and there's wings on that. And it represents freedom of thought. And there you go. So, I'm going to probably still break this one. I'm going to keep on doing that. I'm going to probably call it a Mercury something that. But respect for that, man, I'm going to do my best to call it what it is. The Winged Liberty Head. Whoa, thank goodness that turd was frozen.